Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It is tea, coffee, tea, and consciousness. I'm Anne.
I'm Mel. Thanks for joining us.
Yep, at whatever time of day. We're going to talk about not blaming other people for things that upset us, or I don't know. It's basically a scapegoat when we blame others. It's not
Yep.
taking responsibility for your feelings, or like one of the big ones I had was I think it was last week, was it?
I can't remember.
I had finally, like, realized because I was holding a grudge, like, when our kids were little, my husband would go to work and then go to the bar, not every night, but a couple times a week or whatever, and I was home with the kids, and I would be pissed because I'm home with the kids, and now you're going for happy hour. And I kinda created a story around that as part of it. But anyway, my son is kinda doing the same thing, but he doesn't have kids, but his girlfriend isn't happy about it, and so it kinda brought that all back up in me, and so then, of course, I'm talking to my husband about it, and he's like, "And you would think that the last 26 years have been complete shit, and that's all I did," and all these things. And then it dawned on me, like, I'm not like, I wanna blame him for the way I was feeling, but in reality, it was me. Like, I'm mad at me that I don't know if it's allowed it or I'm not entirely sure. I think I was telling myself, like, creating a story around it, but I don't feel like now that I saw it and took responsibility about the way I felt and it made me feel, I don't feel that, like, I don't feel triggered by it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Well, sort of. I also recently had an experience, and I'm glad that we're talking about this today because I have our son. We bought a house for my son and his wife family. She was going to school, he was working. They couldn't have gotten a mortgage, and rent was getting too extraordinarily difficult to even consider paying. So Jimmy and I bought a house, and they sort of rented from us, and they were paying the mortgage payment.
Mhm.
And so it's been 5, 6 years now. They are currently not living together. They're separated. And our son is having a hard time making the full payment on his own, which we get, right? So we came up
Mhm.
with this idea of how to help him for a little while he gets through this tough time. And he hasn't been paying for like
Mhm.
all of August, which I know is just a few weeks, but then he didn't always pay in July either. And so yesterday I was telling Annie, I've been wondering because I haven't been talking to my husband about it. And I've been wondering, what is this that what is in here for me? I think, probably all of us after you have an awakening, that's one of the pretty common themes is what is in this for me? What's in this for me? What am I not seeing? What am I seeing or how am I seeing this how could I see this differently? I'm not upset about the rent or the money towards the mortgage payment. I'm not upset at all. I know he's going through a hard time. It's fine. I wish he would talk to me, but I also know what it feels like when something is happening and you don't want to say it because I don't want to feel embarrassed. I don't want to feel ashamed. I
Mhm.
and like you said, Annie, I would not put that on him.
Mhm.
And maybe he feels it anyway, I don't know, but
Right?
I don't want to add to that because I'm not upset about it. I get it. I just wish he would have had a conversation. So
Mhm.
then I'm thinking, but I'm also not talking to my husband about it
Mhm.
because he still lives in the real world of like real life stuff, dollars and cents, and you're not doing what you should be doing. Well, why aren't you doing
Right.
what you should be doing? To me,
Mhm.
everything is energy. So what is it? What is the energy underlying this situation for us? And so I've been really kind of exploring that through journaling and talking to myself while I take the dog for a walk. And what is in here for me that I'm resisting? If this is an experience I'm having, what am I
Mhm.
resisting in here? Well, I am resisting this conversation with Jimmy
Mhm.
because he's going to do this thing that says, now we have to alter our lifestyle in a way to make up for that money. Actually, that's true.
Mhm.
I don't resist that being true, but I do resist the conversation about it being true. I
Right.
don't want to listen. I'm resisting a conversation about like tangible reality versus energy reality.
Mhm.
I look at the energy reality. Hey, I can see that there's something in here for us.
Right.
Thank you. I'm not mad at Alex. I'm actually, if I could be completely honest, I'm really actually kind of sad that this is the easiest way that spirit is bringing this experience for us. So there's
Right.
something for Alex in this experience. There's something for Jimmy in this experience,
Mhm.
although he doesn't know it yet because he doesn't know what's happening. And there's
Mhm.
something for me in this experience, which when I look back at my patterns are I hide
Mhm.
experiences I think are going to be hard for another person
Right.
because probably I don't think that they're capable of handling them,
Mhm.
or I don't think
It's just easier.
it's
I'll just take
easier.
care of it.
I'll just take
Yeah.
care of it. I'm not worried about it at
Yeah.
all. It isn't that it's not
Mhm.
a big deal. Listen, in reality, that is a lot of money, and in reality, we do need to alter our lifestyle to
Mhm.
make a change so that we're not running at a deficit, right, every month
Right.
by making that payment ourselves.
Mhm.
So I can see the truth, the physical truth in it, but I also
Right.
know that really there's an underlying energetic situation here, which is Mel really tries to keep others from feeling something that's difficult because I don't like the way they're going to respond. So,
Mhm.
sort of like you with Tony and
Mhm.
going to the, happy hour.
Right.
It isn't a physical. When Jimmy finds out, he's going to be pretty mad that I've been not told and telling him. That's true. So I'm going to have to deal with
Mhm.
that anger, which is valid. He gets to be mad at me for hiding something from him. That is
Right.
really wrong of me. I am down with that completely. I should be
Mhm.
more open. But I'm not hiding it because I'm just I don't really wanna. So what am I resisting? I'm resisting the experience of having this conversation with him.
Yeah.
But I don't get to blame Alex for giving us this situation because this
Mhm.
situation's gonna come. If you are not done working through something, it's coming. Like for you, maybe
It's
it came
coming
to
and you
you for
don't
you
know
to
who it's from.
right.
Like, it doesn't matter who it came from, it's something
No,
you've gotta work on.
it's something
So
you gotta
it's
work on.
like yeah, and so obviously me having the conversation with my son's girlfriend, it
Was
triggered a
for
thing
you.
in me that I hadn't told like, I wanna say, "Oh, that was fucking 25 years ago, Ian, like, get over it." But obviously there's a thing there, and then
There's an energy there.
yeah, there's an energy there. And so you get to feel it with Alex. That's like that's who it's coming from. But at the same time, there's more to the story than Alex isn't paying the mortgage. And,
Yeah, if it weren't
he's
gonna come
just a
from
little
him,
piece of it. Yeah. He's
yeah,
supposed
it'd
to
come
work
from
on,
someone else.
yeah. Yeah. If it wasn't him, it would be someone else. That's true.
That's the thing.
Yep.
So then when we talk about blame, this is why I can't blame anyone anymore for anything. I don't
Hmm.
have right? Everything I
I
see
still
is
catch myself though. I'm like,
I
you
want to.
motherfucker.
No, I know. Well, sometimes because sometimes it's so
You
like
get
we
caught
talked
up in
about
the emotion
before.
of it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was easier before when real life was just real tangible life and we could just blame other people for our bad experience, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
It
what
was
this
that was
expe
so easy. It was
Oh my
so easy to blame other people. So
so easy to live your life pissed as a victim.
yep.
And
It's kind of like yeah, never mind.
no, it so for me, I can see the underlying and I've got a lot of empathy and compassion
Mhm.
for Alex that he's going through this too, partially for
Mhm.
himself, for sure, right? You're the star in your own life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is for him, but it's also in this way for me. I'm sort of
Isn't
sad that it has to be from him to me. I wish it but either
mhm.
way it would have come. Doesn't matter. Would have come. It would have come.
Isn't his thing about responsibility?
Yes, his life
So that
purpose
this makes sense too.
yeah, totally. He
Taking responsibility.
when we did a reading this is when we were first very, very beginning. Like Annie and I were this is when we were still begging our family to let us give them readings or friends to give them readings. And for this kid, it was I saw past lives of spirit. Okay, we all energy has to go through if you're going to say it out loud or say what you see. It's coming through a human. So
Mhm.
spirit knows that I don't mind swearing. So for me, it was he's lived a lot of life of fuck offery.
Mhm.
Lot of lives of fuck offery. Couldn't quite pull his responsibility piece together. And
Right.
in this lifetime, he came here to, I'm going to use the word ease himself. So he came here,
Mhm.
and this is the thing, he came here for me to be his mom because, And I've always thought, and Annie has said too, I'm way more tender with that one than the
Mhm.
rest. That
Mhm.
one
Yeah.
seems to have always gotten my tender heart. Let's just
Yeah.
give him a little more time. Let's give him a little more rope to hang himself. Like, let's
Mhm.
just, for whatever reason, and now I can see why. He came to me, and that feeling is there for me, not to not help him into responsibility, but he needed a little easier, he needed more space, he needed more time, and he needed someone that was gonna be able to give it to him, and I'm totally capable, and I can see it in all of our life together so far.
Mhm.
So, yeah, he
Yeah.
is meant to be moving into a more responsible human, and
Mhm.
you wouldn't
And
think
this
that
is
that's
part of
true,
it.
but that's part of it. This is part of it.
Yeah,
It makes
he's gotta get to the point
perfect sense.
where I gotta I don't want you to figure it out as I'm not paying the bill, like, let's have a conversation beforehand.
Well,
Hopefully
and
he
so
gets there.
here's the difference that I can see in him, and Jimmy and I have talked about this in the past.
Mhm.
5 years ago, he would not have thought twice about us paying it. Not at all.
Mhm.
You know this. He came to us for everything. I
Mhm.
mean, all the time for everything. I swear to God, I would think to myself, I don't know that I would have the balls to keep going back to my mother and asking for more help. But for
Right.
him, he did not, there was no, "Oh, I shouldn't do that." None of that. Over the
Mhm.
last few years, we have seen him not want to ask for help. We have
Right.
seen him say, even when I would have the grandkids over and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna give them dinner or send them home with dinner." "No, it's fine, mom. We'll go home and make it." It used to be not like that.
Mhm.
It has been this, I've watched this slow evolution of him moving away from relying on me and Jimmy
Right.
and his dad to relying on himself, and even when he can't rely on himself, he's trying to, and I think that's what this is, because a
Mhm.
few years ago, he would not have felt bad about saying, "Hey, I can't make that mortgage payment forever." Right? Like, he wouldn't
Right.
have.
Now he's feeling guilty about it.
He's feeling feelings about it, which
Mhm.
are his to feel. I can't take them
Right.
away. I don't wanna take them away because I know he's meant to be moving in this direction, and I can see how actually him not wanting to have this conversation is actually him showing me in this backhanded way, Ernie,
Yeah.
that he is becoming, I would say, noticing where he's not being responsible. He is.
Right.
He's noticing, and for all
Mhm.
of us, we gotta notice before we can take on a huge task.
Yeah.
And so it is one of those things where, but again, if it wasn't for him, I would have gotten it somewhere else because I am not done yet
Mhm.
trying to ease other people's discomfort.
Well, and it's not just you. Jimmy's got a role in this too.
For sure. He gets to
Because
learn
he
to
likes to
trust,
well, and the easy thing for him is it's Alex.
blame,
Alex,
blame.
blame. Yeah. Uh, where I think there's more to it because he likes to go into the depression of now we are broke. We've got
He
no
goes
money.
down the really ugly rabbit hole of now we can't buy groceries. I mean, he'll go from
Yeah.
one extreme to the other in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
he thinks we can't really buy groceries now.
Well,
My
now we fucked. We really fucked
We
now.
really fucked now. I'll say something like, "Hey, looks like you need some new unders." And he'll be like, "Oh, I'm fine. We can't afford unders." Oh my god. Okay. All
Give
right.
me
I
the
mean,
safety pins.
and I
Mhm.
have learned that that's just, it's fine. That's his way. Okay, fine. If you
Right.
think that we can't afford new unders and you don't want to get new, I used to go buy them for him. Now
Mhm.
I don't. You're going to buy
Right.
new unders when you feel like we can afford it, and that, but I'm going to have unders
Mhm.
when I need unders. I'm not buying myself unders because he thinks that there's never, ever, ever anything that
Mhm.
can be afforded, which
Well, it's
isn't
funny
true.
because I think Tony kinda was like that because he was the same way, like, "I don't need socks." "Dude, your fucking socks are so stretched out, the heel is coming up your calf. Like, shut the fuck up. You need new socks." Or the underwear, like and so it became a thing, so when I would do his laundry and I would see something that should just go in the garbage, I'm like, "Fuck it. He wants to keep all this crap.
Let
Let
him.
him do it.
That's right.
Eventually, he'll wanna throw them out."
That's so
But
true.
and it's funny because I think what taught him that we weren't in such shambles was when he actually quit the job and he knew we were okay.
Right.
Like, he needed to go through that to finally be okay with stuff. So we were spending money. I don't know, it was just a totally different but he was the same way.
Yeah. Jimmy
I can only have 1 pair of shoes, and I'm gonna wear them every single fucking day until the bottom starts flapping, and then I might even try and glue them.
Yep.
I'm gonna become a shoe repair.
I threw a pair of Jimmy's shoes out thinking he wouldn't notice. We'd done the garage sale this summer, and I had thrown a pair of Jimmy's shoes out, and he's like, "I don't know what happened to those shoes." I'm like, "I think that the front was coming off." He's like, "No, no, no, I know, I only wear them to mow the grass." He's like,
Mhm.
"Now I don't know what I'm gonna do to mow the grass. Can you wear I only have one other pair of shoes." Okay,
Yes.
that's maybe the problem.
Well,
Maybe
but see,
that could be the issue.
Tony would do that shit too, and it was, I'm gonna save these pair just for outside yard work.
Yeah,
Well, he's too lazy. I need to tone that down. He doesn't wanna take the time to change his shoes. He's not like Mr. Rogers, and he sits and he switches shoes for inside versus outside.
and his
No,
sweater.
they
Yeah,
became an "I'm wearing them all the time" shoe. And
yeah,
so even that, it was like, forget it. Like, you can't have outdoor shoes because
yeah. You
then they
can't have
become your
outdoor shoes
every.
because you don't know how to be responsible with them.
Right.
Because 'Cause you're wearing them as everyday
Yeah.
go
It's
to
just
work
it is
shoes.
comical. It's
It
just
is.
comical.
I do think that because for Jimmy, it is now he does change his shoes. He has indoor shoes that he
Mhm,
puts on.
mhm.
He has his outdoor yard shoes. He has his
Right.
outdoor
He
so
has
he does
Birkenstocks.
yeah, he has his indoor Birkenstocks. I mean, he's got his pairs of shoes that are very specifically designed apparently for very specific tasks that he does, which is super fantastic for him. He's not without footwear, but you would have thought in that moment that he was without footwear. But Jimmy
Mhm,
he does. I've sat down with him and I'm like, "Okay," because he's an engineer and he likes things in a spreadsheet.
mhm,
So we'll do a budget and we write it all down and we
mhm,
look at it together and I see numbers
uh-huh.
with with
What does he see?
with a positive. He
Yeah.
sees that it's all a
Everything that's
like
going out.
it's not and I've shown him. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Hey, here's the thing. Isn't it funny how when we're looking at this spreadsheet, we still have been able to buy groceries that which you think we can't do? Like,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
look at this, could you see it in this way?" And
Mhm,
then um, we're able to pay some things off, and
mhm.
then we have even more disposable income, and he still says like, the other day, we had my mom in the car, we took her to go take a hearing test, and she's
Yeah.
like, "So did you get the house figured out? And, do you have, like does it feel a little bit better with a little more money in your pocket?" And Jimmy
Mhm,
scoffs behind me, like, "Okay,
mhm.
I hear you. I hear that for you, it doesn't matter what it looks like on paper. For
Right.
you, it is,
He
but
feels the lack.
it is definitely he's a lacquer. And I will
Mhm.
say, this is handed down from his family.
I was gonna say that too because it totally is. His mother was
This is a hand me
she's
down. This is
notorious.
stuff that he
Yeah.
does not need to have on him. I sort of wonder if he actually believes it's true or he just says it to me. Right? Because
Well, he's acknowledged it.
I would think so this is where we can go into manifesting. I got some curiosity around this. So,
Mhm,
we are able to live. I mean, isn't it
mhm.
lovely? We can buy groceries. We do have some
Right.
disposable income.
Mhm.
So, I don't know because I do believe in energy and, what you're putting out there, you're getting.
Right.
So, I don't know if he just says it. So, part of me wonders, do you just say that so that
Like we used to, like, everything is rainbows and kittens.
right.
Everything is great, even though internally, it
I'm
didn't
feeling
feel like
bad.
that.
So I wonder
Mhm.
if he's the opposite. He's saying, "Oh my god, we can't do groceries, but
Okay.
we can." So he's feeling like we have more than he's willing to say. Does that make sense?
Yes, because I have always been negative. Tony would
Nelly.
call me Negative Nelly, and my whole thing was, then I'm never disappointed. I'm never disappointed when the shoe drops or it doesn't go the way that I would really like it to go.
Mhm.
But I'm not disappointed because I'm like, it's could go this way. Like, whereas I've seen you because you would go completely, everything is great. And the
Sh the
cruise
sh
was a,
Yeah, the
I
shoe
just
actually
remember the
does
cruise.
Yeah, the shoe does
and it
fall.
falls, and then you, like, tank,
I
you get
do.
pissed.
Yeah.
Uh-huh,
I have a
and so
hard
I was always
yeah.
like, I'd rather feel like me and everything's working out because I've already assumed it's not going to.
And see that okay, so I've I also wonder because with the amount of that he discusses our
Mhm,
inability to buy groceries this week, I keep thinking, like, are all these podcasts from my side gonna be about money? Like, what is happening? Anyway,
mhm.
I'm not sure, but whatever.
Well, that just happens to be the one thing that blaming somebody else
Yeah.
when
So
it's not really about them.
yeah. So for him, it's like, it isn't because he talks about it like it is, I don't know that he feels that it is. I
Yeah,
mean,
probably not.
I look at his
'Cause
mom and
mhm,
right, how she was able to live. She
mhm,
acted like she would say, we can't do Christmas." Like, she would say all of these things that weren't true,
right.
right? Like, in
Mhm,
reality, they weren't actually true, but you would think that, like, we were I don't know, like, there was a year she gave me a maxi pad for my birthday gi my Christmas gift.
mhm,
I mean, because it came in the mail, and so that was something that she could give. So I do
mhm,
think that part of this, I wonder in regards to, how energy works and how it comes in, how is that different? And I do know I did have to do a lot of work on disappointment. I don't
mhm,
feel it as strongly anymore.
mhm.
It isn't I don't know if I don't have desires or, like,
Well,
but
you've
I
now
really don't have
accepted
huge
but
expectation.
you
That's true. I don't have really
but
big
you've
expectations.
also stopped with the pushing and you're more about right timing.
I do
And
really
so
feel right timing is
so if you
awesome.
can look at it like, well, and maybe the timing isn't right for it, that lessens the blow, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it does.
And but I do think, like you said, if whether Jimmy really believes it, even when we had money issues, I always knew that we were gonna be fine. I always knew that we were gonna be fine, but I always looked at it in this I always went to worst case scenario, and then when shit worked out, it was like, "Oh my god, that's so great."
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot of shielding myself 'cause I think too because I kinda put a shield around myself, like, not to be vulnerable, and so that was part of it also.
Yeah. So I wonder in with that for you, and I don't know
Mhm,
that that's true. I wonder like, I went through years of feeling I went for years of pretending disappointment wasn't there,
mhm,
and then I went through years of feeling any disappointment that came so horribly that something would happen and I would start sobbing if it wasn't, I used to get angry and then anger is just covering up something else. So
right,
then I'd be sad. And
mhm,
then I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, my life is pretty good. If that doesn't ever
mhm,
happen, I'm still okay. Now I just feel like, well, I don't know. This is pretty all right. I mean, I got a good life. I don't
right,
have any. So I do think that there's been some adjustment to expectations. I don't
mhm,
know that I need grand gestures like I think I used to need them
right,
or grand experiences or grand not that I wouldn't love them. I still would like my yacht Connie. So,
mhm,
it's not that they wouldn't be awesome, just I don't know what it is. It's different.
right,
And I also have a few friends who I think to myself, they are always boohooing money. "Oh my god, we don't
right,
have this, we don't have that." And I'm like, "What is happening? I don't even know what you're talking about. You know that's not true,
mhm,
right? Like, are you looking around like that's not true?" So, I wonder if people just say it, like Jimmy might just say
mhm,
it, but he doesn't feel it, right?
right.
He doesn't feel it's true. I do think that if he felt it was true, we'd have more struggle buses.
Well, and like you said, I remember you saying not that long ago, like, I think he says it because he's worried I'm gonna go ahead and spend what any extra we have.
Yes, I do think that part of him says it, and I have said to him, "Hey, just so you know, I I don't believe you ever when you talk about money anymore.
Right,
Like, just
yeah.
because you've shown me that no matter how much or how little we have nothing. We can't buy groceries this week."
Yeah, I wonder why it's always about food.
I don't know, and I'm sure that that is a
Probably because that's the easiest because that's the one that you can influence the most, because
yeah,
the other ones are
maybe.
kinda set bills, like,
Yeah,
those are you gotta pay that, and
right.
it's this amount. That's probably why.
And I wonder
It's
too,
interesting.
he grew up for a while when his mom got divorced, they were, and she was going to school, they were on what, used to be
Mhm.
called welfare, I don't know what it's called anymore.
Yeah,
Anyway, and they drink powdered milk.
just disgusting.
So and that's why he doesn't like
Drink
anyway,
milk.
so I sort of wonder if part of the food thing came from his own upbringing also, like, because that was where he saw it, right? That was where
Yeah.
he noticed during the time that they didn't have anything or didn't have much or were,
Mhm.
struggling to get through the month.
Right.
Maybe that's where he noticed it most,
Mhm.
and that's why he brings it up. But yeah, it is funny, but I guess I think the point of this whole thing today was
To not
to
to
not
look at
blame.
situations,
Yeah,
yes, to not look at situations and see what your part is in the situation.
right. What's
'Cause
the
there is
energy
a
underneath
piece
it?
of it. Yeah, there is a and if you're in the situation, there's a reason for it. And it is I mean, we've been conditioned to blame everyone but ourselves.
Yeah. But I will say it's hard, so we'll go back to this experience. It's hard to understand what the experience is for myself or why I should take responsibility for this experience.
Mhm.
Because again, I would have thought that it's an experience about money. It's not. It's not an experience about money. It's an
It's never
experience
about the
about
thing. It's
right.
about your emotions. It's
That's right. So
always
it's about
emotions.
me struggling to have a hard conversation and allow someone else to feel something that I know they're not gonna like to feel. I so I'll just do it myself or I'll take it on myself. All the emotional
See, I would
struggles,
do that, but it was to prove my worth. Like, I'll
right.
take it on so that then there's a reason for my existence.
And so then there's another so that's a different so they both look the same, right? You're taking it
Yeah,
on yourself, I'm taking it on myself. You're taking it on for that reason, I'm taking it on for the reason that I have a hard time watching someone have to process through a hard what they would consider something hard.
right. But then you gotta remember yourself, they need it so they can grow.
And then you gotta remember this is for me. And
Mhm,
so, the other day in my journaling, what are you resisting? Well, I'm resisting this
mhm,
conversation. Why? Well, do you not think it's not I mean, if it's here for you, it's good for you, even if you don't like
mhm,
it. So
mhm,
remembering that it's here for me on purpose, it's here so that I can move. I don't want this to be the case forever. I don't want to be afraid to let someone else feel a hard thing.
right.
I will say, I also it just hit me, part of my resistance to it is old school, The Secret. I don't want more to come in. There is that piece, I just felt it, like, I just felt it.
Mhm.
I just felt it. Oh god, but if I accept it, is it making me more? Oh
But, you
god,
know,
I
what
don't
I've
but I know
found is,
that's not
like,
true necessarily.
working through my stuff is
Yeah,
that, because I used to be afraid to talk about how I really felt about things, and I've noticed that once have started talking about it, it doesn't bring it in, and it actually feels like such a fucking release and a relief to admit the thing that you thought you shouldn't talk about or feel
yeah,
because The Secret was great. It was the catalyst to starting
for
everything, like,
us.
for us, but there's a lot of things about it that are just not true.
Right,
Because I had a hard time this last year is when I finally, like, figured out, like, it's okay to talk about this shit so that you can get some relief, like, unwind that ball of mess that's been created
right,
over a lifetime
right,
or possibly a past life, like, who the fuck knows?
right. But somewhere it's in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I do
but
and I know it, but I just all of a sudden when I said that, I was like, "Oh, there is a
mhm,
little piece of me that it's still in there. I can feel it in my
mhm.
chest. It's still a little piece
Well,
of that, like, 'Oh
and
god, I really don't wanna
I
do this
get on
over and over again.'"
TikTok
There's more
and
resistance.
but I'd get on TikTok and there's still a ton of people that say the same thing. Like, you gotta do it this way and you need to, you gotta manifest and you need to say it in this way and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, that's easy. But for me, that is not true. Maybe for somebody else it is.
Right.
But for myself, it is not true. It's easy. It's better for me to talk about the thing so that there can be some relief, I guess.
Yeah,
'Cause then I'm finally acknowledging a thing that I haven't wanted to acknowledge.
right. And I will say, I trust my way. My way is probably not the best way. I don't recommend anyone do anything I do my way necessarily, like,
Mhm.
but I trust it
I
for
think if
me. I do trust
Yeah.
it for myself. I think for me, however I've been going through it is right
Mhm.
for me. And this
Right. And
feels
that's what I
like
think.
the next
I think
thing.
that's everyone needs to figure out their own way,
Yes.
and everyone is different, and there is no one size fits all. That is
No,
just not true.
I agree.
Everyone's coming here with different things to learn, different things to experience. Like, who knows what your fucking higher self has set up for you, like what you guys fucking came up with as a plan to go through in this life. Like,
Right.
you don't know. Like, and it's not that you don't know. Like, I get little pieces and then I'm supposed to play blind and just move along. Other people, I think, have more of a set course.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I used to think too, when I would listen to or I'd read other books, put out by people who've had awakenings and this and that, trying to discover my own way by trying to
Hmm.
do it their way and it not working.
Hmm.
I always thought if I'm as spiritually awake as I
It
am
should work like
at
this.
whatever moment, I
Hmm.
I shouldn't have this experience, right?
Mhm.
Or I
Yeah,
would
so
look
then
at
there's the,
people
yeah,
yeah, I would
what's
look
wrong
at
with me?
people and I'd be like, "How are their lives look so much different than mine.
Right.
I've been doing this for, this long also." And
Well, and that's the Joneses, keeping up with the Joneses.
that is all comparing my spiritual journey to their spiritual journey, which is
Mhm.
not the same journey, which I
Yeah.
remember for a while, I would say to Jimmy, "My way's the right way too." For a long
Mhm.
time, I thought because I couldn't do things his way, that my way was wrong. I didn't see things
Yeah.
the same way he did. And I thought, "Oh,
Mhm.
oh, yours is obviously the right way." And obviously, for you, it's the right way.
Yeah. Right.
For me, it's this way. Now, Jimmy's
Mhm.
purpose is stability. So, in that, it makes perfect sense that he is concerned about making sure we can have groceries. He's making,
Right.
right? Like, there is this line of his purpose that is, it feels right for him to be
Yeah.
concerned about that, to try to hold it close to the chest, try to say, oh, we don't have enough. Because his purpose
Mhm.
is to keep our family stable, which he
Right.
does a really great job at,
Right.
and that is
And that's
not
his
my
jam.
purpose.
Yep.
Definitely not.
And I do find it interesting because you read tons of books,
I read
whereas
tons.
that was never I did read the one, the hypnosis guy,
Yeah, the Michael
The
Newton.
Many Lives or whatever, but
Mhm.
I didn't get into the book.
I read constantly. I listened if I wasn't reading it, I was listening
Mhm.
to it. But I wanted to our daughter, we only have 1 daughter. Our daughter,
Mhm.
when I did I had that hypnosis through the Michael Newton Institute, which sort of I don't wanna say was but it definitely was a turning point for me to have that hypnosis done, and
Mhm.
when I asked about each of the kids, when they showed me Molly's energy, our daughter's energy, I kept like I got a recording of it. Glory, glory,
Mhm.
glory. I don't know what glory means. I still don't know what glory means, but glory. I mean, her frequency felt so much higher than when I even commune with my own higher self or my own guides. Hers
Mhm.
felt and then when we first started to do the readings and we were doing the kids, she
Mhm.
finally it took a long time for her to let us do her reading, enter her energy. And
Mhm.
again, it was this and it was probably, what, 2 years after my own hypnosis, and I'd sort of forgotten until I touched her energy, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's Glory." And this is her
Mhm.
last lifetime. And she sprinkled her last lifetime with one calamity after ano like, they showed it to me like fireworks. I
Mhm.
mean, and when I look at her life growing up, I'm like, "Lord, give me grace." One calamity after another calamity after another
Right.
calamity. She's doing it for fun. Like,
Mhm.
not fun in her life, not fun as a human. As a matter of fact,
But
when they're
learning what she needed to learn.
yeah, like, she just came through to experience all of these emotions. She
Mhm.
came through to just experience all of them like fireworks, like, one after another, after another, after another. And I remember if I would look and if you would talk to Molly, who I love, I don't know if she listens to this or ever will, but
You wanna go in?
I'll say to Molly when something rotten has happened, I'm like, "Oh, look at you sprinkling in another firework. Oh my god, mom,
Mhm.
my house burned down. Look at you. You're so precious. OMG." And she's,
Mhm.
I obviously I don't say it in the moment. In the moment, I'm a mom and I'm, and I'm feeling horrible and wanting everyone to be okay and all the things. But then after that sort of goes away, it's like, well, Molly, you just threw that in there. That was just another one of your fireworks. The
Gotta
car got
coincide.
stolen. There's another firework, right? The broken leg, another firework. I mean, just one thing after another thing after another thing. It never seems to end for her. Now they did say that there was an end when she's somewhere in the 40 years old range. Things will
Mhm,
slow down for her, but I'm like, well, you got some time left, my friend. She's like, God, can't I be 40 tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know what else you got in store for yourself, but I'm down for it. I trust you. I have faith in you. I know that you're going to be fine. I
mhm.
really know that you're going to be fine. But her too, she's pretty open when we talk about blame, but it is a human experience to wanna blame someone else, and really, it's harder to do when you know that everything is energy first, and there's something in here for me. Sometimes it's hard to know what is for you, what part of it is for you.
Well, if you're in it, it's for you. But
If
in the
you're in it,
moment,
it's
you can get caught up in the emotion of it and not handle it maybe the best way.
right,
But when you look back at it, you can see, "I see
yeah,
that," and then you're prepared for the next time
and it
because
will
it's
come
not
a
like
next time.
yeah, it might become less, or
Yeah.
you might get kinda tested and see, like, even if you think you've dropped it, there'll be something that comes about.
Well, with you and talking to Reese's girlfriend about the bar, happy hour.
Yeah, yeah,
Would have thought that that would have been that's old news. I'm with
yeah,
20 years ago.
yeah. That really pissed me off. Yep.
Yeah. So, now can you see what energy was underneath that? Can you see what that was?
I told myself a story, and I think it was the story of kind of, I need to do it all. I need to be the responsible one. He gets to go and do whatever he wants. And I was obviously there was some resentment there, but I told myself a story. There was a story around it. The whole I think it was about worth. There was more, it was a deeper story than just he goes to the bar and he gets to have this fun and I'm stuck with the kids. There
And
was
you're not allowed to have fun. You didn't earn your right
yeah,
to
yeah,
have fun.
yeah.
He earned it
You
because
get
he
to
went to a job.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, and that's such bullshit. Like, what a stupid story to tell myself because it's way hard. Like, no offense to the workers out there, but and that's not true. I can't say it, but it is hard. Like, have when you if you stay home with your kids, that is a different kind of hard.
It's a hard
It's a
that never gets
different,
turned off. Never gets turned off.
yeah. You don't get to say, oh, it's 5 o'clock, I'm gone.
Right.
Yeah, it is a 24-hour, 7 day a week
Yes.
gig.
No vacations.
No vacations, even when you take a vacation.
Yeah. No time. You don't get to do a smoke break without the
Mm-mm,
kids. Like, I mean,
mm-mm.
I think about when I used to work and and I smoked at the time and I'd go do my smoke breaks.
Well, you'd get your 15 minutes. You'd
Yep.
get 2
Get my
15s and a
lunch.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so it is, it's a different kind of hard. It's hard. I can't imagine ever having I mean, for a minute, just getting up in the morning and having to get everyone ready and then taking them to daycare or to school and then going to work and
yeah,
then
yeah,
coming home at 6 o'clock at night and making dinner and giving baths. I don't know when your sheets would get washed. Like in real life, I really don't know how you do it like that. I can't.
yeah, I
I
can't
never had the
imagine.
capacity to do that. I would never have been on time. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
true, I did it for a short time, but it was not enough to it wasn't sustainable for me. I just couldn't do it, so that would be so hard. That'd be so hard, and
yeah,
then you come home, and then you never get time off from your kids unless you're at work, and then you might get a call that says they're sick, and now what are you gonna do? Now you got guilt of calling in
yeah.
and all the things. I mean,
Well, that
but it
was
is
part of the
different.
reason why too I never went to work
Yeah, I couldn't
because Tony,
imagine.
like, it's great because I listened to all these other people trying to figure out how they're gonna do it,
Yeah.
and I never had to do it, and I'm super thankful that I didn't.
And I know some people who waited until their kids went to school, but they still get sick, and now you got the guilt of not being able to do
Yeah,
that or the guilt of sending your kid to school with this, "Well, are you really sick enough? Maybe I'll just give you some Tylenol." Right? Like,
yeah.
anyway,
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of that.
that's
Yeah,
hard too because how do you do it both ways?
yeah,
It's hard to do, but there is something underneath it, and I think to start to
mhm,
recognize, I would say living consciously is learning to recognize what's underneath the physical experience of it. And
yeah.
and the
And
and to
even if you can't do it in the moment, if
Yeah,
you
but
can look back.
it does come
Mhm.
it does come. I mean, I've been having this
Yeah,
experience and wondering, "What is it?" Knowing it's something, just but what
right,
is it? And then recognizing this is for me, and then recognizing, I know it's for me, but I still don't wanna do it. And there's
right.
still some resistance there, and then I said to Spirit 2 days ago, because it was 2 days ago that I was, "Oh, I get it. I get the
Mhm,
issue underneath here for me. I get what's under here
mhm.
for me."
There are days, though, when I wish not wish, but it is almost easier sometimes when you're still asleep
Yeah, no,
and
for
you just
sure.
go with
Yeah. I would rather I mean,
because the constant, like, "And what is that?
for
And
me.
what does that mean?"
Yeah.
And da 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 da. I
And
mean, it's
and
good, but at the same time, it's like, goddamn, it was so much easier just to roll with it.
just to blame yeah, keep moving.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah,
But it is nice once you can see what's under there because it is I do believe that it's true that we don't move away. It doesn't just go away. It
right.
keeps there until you do. I really
Yeah.
that is part of a belief that it would probably take a lot for me to unravel that. I always wonder about what do I believe strongly. I do
Mhm.
believe that things don't go away unless you notice them. At the very least, recognize what it is. And
Yeah.
and and
And doesn't mean that if you recognize it, it's coming back tenfold.
no, and it
You
doesn't
know
mean
what I
if you
mean? Like,
yeah. Mhm.
if you give it the recognition and you call it out for what it is, and then again, as we've always been told,
Never always, never,
not
never
yes, which
is annoying.
it's super fucking annoying because you kinda wish it was a one size fits all, whatever, you know?
Yeah,
And I do think it's interesting, like, you can have an experience that's completely different than mine, but if the emotion is the same, it's almost this you're still kinda getting the same what is it? Like, if it was jealousy, like, it could show up differently for
yeah,
you than it would for me,
for
but in
sure.
underneath it all, it's the same emotion.
Yeah,
And I used to think I remember, I think it was last summer, I got my summers all mixed up, but
yeah,
when we were doing the Marco Polo and stuff,
uh-huh.
and people love to say a lot of things is jealousy. And I remember, and I can't even remember what it was, but I remember it enough to tell this. But I figured out that jealousy gets thrown around a lot, but if you dig deeper, it's not like at least for me when I was because there was something and I thought, "Oh, I'm just jealous." And I dug deeper and there was something it was deeper than jealousy, like it was underneath, but it was kind of masquerading as jealousy.
Well, I would
But I
say
forget what the exact experience was.
well, I'll go back to
And I
the cruise experience for me, and it was jealousy. What I experienced was the feeling of jealousy, but underneath there was grief. It was sadness. I was
yeah.
sad. I was so
Mhm.
sad that I couldn't do this thing I really wanted to do right now. I was so
Right.
sad I felt like I was gonna disappoint my sister. I was so
Mhm.
sad that I was watching other people have an experience that I wanted and had been planning for almost a year. Like
Mhm.
so there was underneath the jealousy, it was me not the
Mhm.
jealousy
Grieving.
was the top, it could have been something different, but then I finally got to jealousy, and then once you get through the jealousy, I was disappointed, right? So now I gotta go
Yeah.
through disappointment, and then when I got
Yeah.
through disappointment, I had to get through sadness and
Mhm.
grief, and then I had to acknowledge what is true. What is true
Mhm.
is this is an experience for you to see something from, it's for you, and you don't know what's gonna come later in your life, right?
Yep.
You could be true when it says you might never have that experience. It could be true that it's not right timing. I don't know what it
Right.
is, but I agree with you
Mhm.
that underneath the jealousy was I didn't wanna feel disappointed.
Right.
I didn't wanna feel lack.
Mhm.
I didn't wanna feel the sadness that was gonna come from all of it. So, yeah, it was all of that.
Right.
I think that's whenever I see someone angry, I think the same thing, like,
Oh,
anger
it's a
is
lot of
just
time it's sadness.
it's
It's
masquerading
covering
as
up sadness.
yeah, it's covering up some and then
Yeah.
I think of that emotional scale. Do you ever
Mhm.
I looked at that emotional scale a lot, but, when you keep going,
Yeah.
let it down further and letting it go down further, and that's the other thing too, I used to think, "Oh, you can't let it go down far," right? Like with the manifesting world, you can't let it go down
Yeah.
to sadness or you can't let
Yeah.
it down to what was what was the very, very bottom was shame or something like that. You definitely can't go
Mhm.
down to shame. I remember when I felt shame, it knocked me on my knees. I was at the pizza shop and I was down on the floor crying. I told Spirit I was not gonna stop scrubbing that floor until I got through it. I was
Mhm.
scrubbing that floor for a really like, that day for a really long time. I felt shame. I can't remember what had happened, but I felt
Yeah.
so much shame, and I
Mhm.
would've when we first had our awakening, I wouldn't have allowed myself to go there because
Well,
that's like the
that's
low
gonna really that's gonna really fuck up
that's really gonna bring in more
manifesting.
experience of shame instead of
Yeah, yeah,
I felt it I
yeah.
mean, I felt it, man, I felt it. That was emotionally challenging to feel.
Mhm.
To let my because you gotta let yourself feel it. You gotta let yourself feel
Oh my god, yep.
and
I've cried enough.
it is so I mean, some of those emotions, I'd rather just be mad. It's easier to be mad.
Being mad is super easy.
Yeah, it
Being
was easier
mad
to be
and
mad.
I you think about all the people, like and maybe they're supposed to. I don't fucking know, but, like, you hear about all those road rage incidences, and it's just like, all these people, in my mind, I think they all just need a fucking hug because there's something there underneath it, and they're hiding it by being angry.
Yeah,
But maybe they're supposed to be angry. I don't fucking know, but I just think a lot of it is like we've never been told. I think there should be classes about dealing with your emotions.
yeah,
We've been taught to suck it up, buttercup,
yeah.
suck it up,
More
move
grit,
on.
more grit,
Yeah, yeah,
more grit.
you're building character. Look at
Mm,
you. You're
mm.
so amazing. No, you're just bearing a lot of shit that eventually comes up. And yeah, being angry is super, super easy.
Hard on other
That's
people
an
around you.
fuck yes. It
Hard on
really is.
others, like,
Yep.
when people are angry around you and you're the
Mhm.
blame, you're the reason, you're the quote unquote
For
"reason"
their
for their
anger.
anger. It is
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
to be that,
Yep.
and
Uh,
so it's easier, and I would say and I do believe in mental health, and I do believe in medication. I
mhm.
am also on medication for mental health,
I am too.
and so this is not about that, but I do believe that there sometimes I would just rather give you a pill.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 because it's a lot easier than dealing with the emotions of some of the stuff. Like, I have been, like, because I went through a pretty good bout of depression. I've always had depression and anxiety, but then figuring out, like, depression is when you look backwards, anxiety is when you're looking forward, staying present. And so I notice now I'm starting to do that more, like, and you're looking back, we need to stay in this moment right here.
Nice, good for you.
Yeah, but I have to catch myself
Yeah,
because sometimes it's easy to get sucked in.
it is easy to get
Well,
sucked
and
in.
some of the shit I've been working on has been in the past.
Right.
So
Well,
I think
again,
we've covered
it
quite a
is
few topics.
it's sort of easy to be I don't know if it's easy to be normal, quote unquote normal, but it does sometimes seem like it would be easier to be normal.
And I don't even know what normal is.
Not now, but I don't know, old Mel normal. She just blamed everyone and then said fuck off.
Yeah, yeah,
Like old Mel normal was felt pretty not that things were easy, but it was easy to handle them. I didn't have to handle them. It was always somebody else.
yeah. You didn't really have to look at it. You just were
No.
like, oh, that was that situation and they can go
Yeah.
fuck themselves or
I
whatever.
know, yeah, get the fuck out of my life or whatever it is. Now,
Yeah.
I yeah, now I find myself it's hard to talk to other people when they have a hard experience, and no one wants to talk to me when they have a hard experience anymore. No one wants to talk to me. Even my daughter said to me, our one son, his girlfriend of a long time broke up with him recently, and I said something to our daughter about it, and she's like I'm like, "I can't understand why they wouldn't come to me." And she's like, "Really? Really? Really?
hmm
You can't see why they
Tony
would
was like,
you can't see why
Jesus
they would
Christ, you
come to
think
you?"
you're Gandhi.
I know.
Tony's like, goddamn Miss Gandhi over here.
I know, I'd be like, "Well, what do you think that is in there for you? Why do you think that is?" Yeah, and I yeah, yes, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, alright, okay, 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 I hear you. I guess people don't wanna come
hmm
to me when they're having a hard experience because they're so good for you."
See, and it's so funny because the boys always call. I'm the first one they call when they want to talk out a idea or a plan.
Yeah, No one calls me when they're having a hard experience at all.
They call you after the fact and tell you,
Mm,
"Now, what do
yeah,
you think was in there for you?"
I know. I'm like, "Well, when you're ready to talk about the reality." My god, mom. Yeah, no one wants to talk to me about reality at all. They're like, "Oh, Christ, I think
Mhm.
I'm gonna go get drunk." "Oh, well, you do know why. What are you running away from? There's an emotion in
Yeah.
there." Christ. Oh my god, we hate her so much. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. I
Reminds me
wanna punch you.
Yeah, reminds me of the Eddie Murphy skit way back in the day. I wish my mom would get hit by a bus. Anyway, well, that was a nice note to end on. Well,
Mm,
I don't know
I
if
don't
we
know. I
covered
don't know
anything
where this
fully, but
went, but yeah, it was a
feels
good
like
talk.
there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you stuck with us, that was awfully great of
Yeah,
you.
congratulations. I'm impressed.
I'd be
Color me
impressed too.
impressed.
Color me impressed. All right, and we will see you next time.
Yep, bye,
Bye now.
and I can't shut down